So James was a Methodist minister for 40 years, and he finds the restored church, starts looking into the doctrine, is compelled by it. He comes and has a meeting with Joseph Smith, and Joseph Smith says, I invite you to make a covenant to serve God and be baptized. And he says, okay. And he enters into covenant. And then like a few days later, he's like, when Joseph Smith's like, great. Now the Lord's commanding you to get up and move to Ohio. And he's like, Ohio?
Maybe not. Maybe this isn't for me.
I was thinking maybe I'd go on a mission in Europe.
Yeah.
And Joseph Smith's like, no, you're going to preach to the Native Americans. He's like, maybe.
Change my mind.
Maybe being a Methodist wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Don't be like that guy. That's the lesson of these verses.
So what? He received the word with gladness at first, but straightway Satan tempted him, and the fear of persecution and the cares of the world caused him to reject the word. And it goes on to say he broke a covenant he made with God, and that God will see to the consequences as he sees fit. So just had to throw that in there. I didn't even want to talk about James at all, but then I thought, there's a lesson there. Take our covenant seriously.
Yeah.
To recognize what's being offered to us and the position we're in, to completely take advantage of what God is willing to offer, which is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, wherever I was reading about him, it says that he was more impressed with the teachings of the church than with the call to move. And I just thought
that follow me. So that.
And that's the lesson I took out of it, is that because, you and I, we like to study doctrine. We like to talk about it. We like to get into the weeds. We like to explore the theory, right? The doctrine, the theology. And as important as that is, it's more important to go and do, to have faith, do what the Lord asks of us, right? To develop these attributes and have this charity and this spirit of consecration to actually become like Christ indeed. So there's a lesson I feel for you and me, and maybe others who are listening, that we're not a gospel of just hearing the word. We should be a gospel of to be being doers of the word and followers of Christ. And I think that's the takeaway I wanted to get out of that.
And if perhaps there are those of us who listen to this and we think about the covenants we have made, and we think, I haven't broken those covenants. Fair enough. But maybe the other lesson or takeaway is, do we truly seek to live our covenants to the fullest? Meaning, are we studying those covenants? Are we reflecting upon them? And most importantly, are we seeking guidance from the Lord on how we can better live and exemplify those covenants we have entered into? Perhaps we've just gotten a little lackadaisical. We've gotten a little complacent in our understanding of those covenants, in how we live those covenants today. And perhaps the Lord is calling us to be more perfect, to be more consecrated, as you said, to turn our hearts over to him more fully and allow the Spirit, the fullness of the Spirit as received in the temple through making those covenants, allow it to justify us and to sanctify us, to make us holier, so that we can live those covenants more perfectly, that we can grow in light and truth by living out those covenants. Perhaps that's another aspect here to think about, is, can we be doing more? Can we turn our hearts over to the Lord to a greater degree than we currently are? And maybe we've done that in the past, and we've just gotten a little complacent.
Thank you for watching. If you found this content spiritually enlightening, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Like the gospel, these little things make all the difference, and it helps the algorithm push out better content for everyone to enjoy on YouTube.